Hey guys, Josh Henke here, created the ultimate sandbag in our DVRT system with strength coach Troy Anderson from Alpha Kettlebell. What we need to do to today's lesson is teach you basically about how to add layers of progression to any movement so that you can become more successful. A lot of times when we add complexity, you hear us say the word over and over again, it's a quantum leap for some people to make that jump so they can actually benefit from a movement. For example, in a rotational lunge, one of the hardest things for people to do is add speed. Because there's so much going on with the drop lunge and the movement of the ultimate sandbag, what ends up happening is people get kind of sloppy with the movement and don't pay attention to details as far as hip and knee alignment. So there's a couple ways we can help this. So one is basically breaking down the movement and decreasing the lever arm. So Troy's just going to do a couple rotational lunges just to show you what we're referring to. So you can see as he builds up, what happens is the bag creates more momentum by getting a lever arm on him. So he has to be even more proficient in stepping down and back, and the speed in which he steps down and back becomes more critical. But what happens if you're having a hard time making that jump? So what we can do is we can do a rotational lunge clean. So what this is going to allow you to do is he's going to come up and clean the bag to that Zercher position, but he's going to keep the bag close to his body and accelerate it back down. So he's going to teach his body how to absorb and then produce that force. We'll give him a little more space there. So what the bag does in the clean is allows us to cut down the lever arm and let him focus on absorbing that eccentric load. Let's just do a couple more there, Troy. This is a really effective way for helping people that are having a hard time making that jump to adding speed in that rotational lunge, but they're able to do the basic series of going slow same side and slow alternating side just fine. What we can do from there is we can also add that balance step, because a lot of people, the hardest part is absorbing that load, is we can then go in that clean and try to catch in that balance step. Nice, Troy. So what you can definitely do is you can step down in between, or like Troy's doing. Troy's making it much harder by actually trying to have a smooth transition down and back at the same time. The great thing about this is another way to add complexity that's not quite as scary as having the long lever arm, and you're going to find that your metabolic series really goes up. The other great part about doing this type of movement is you're teaching people really how to extend the hips fully. Troy can vouch, if you don't fully extend that hip and lock that glute and hamstring in place, you're not going to be able to stabilize, and that's really what the rotational lunge is all about. So combine these two progressions within your series will allow you to gain success in drills like the rotational lunge much faster, which we have shown, and you can see through our series, to be one of the most powerful drills, whether it's producing stability, strength, caloric expenditure, or conditioning. So check out more tips at ultimatesandbagtraining.com.